Good morning. Good morning. Today I am going to start a new chapter in green chemistry synthesis. Okay, so that is organic nanomaterials. This is unit 3. Okay, unit 3 in fourth paper. Fourth paper, that is nothing but organic nanomaterials. Organic nanomaterials. This is a new chapter. I am going to start this chapter. Okay, so let's see what is the organic nanoparticles. Okay, so these organic nanoparticles are unique in nature. Okay, so these are organic organic nanoparticle particles are unique in nature. Unique in nature. Okay, so and here what is the here if you see one dimension the particle size is 11 to 100 nanometers. Okay, so what is the size of this macromolecular? It is about 11 to 100 nanometers. Okay, 11 to 100 nanometers. So here by using this self-assembly process, assembly to form nanomaterials. Nano means very smaller, nanometer. It is a smaller quantity. Is it or not? It is a very smaller quantity. So that's why we. So this is a nanoparticle. Okay. Means very so very smaller one. Here which type of interactions will be present here? Non-covalent interactions are present. Okay, so here non-covalent interactions present. Interactions present. Okay, non-covalent interactions are present. Okay, and here these are said to be weak van der Waals, and here hydrogen bonding will be there. Okay, hydrogen, which type of bonding is present in this one? Here van der Waals bonding and hydrogen bonding is present. Okay, so means if you take a van der Waals and hydrogen bonding, these are not a stronger bond, these are weak covalent interactions. Okay, so this is about the introduction. So what is the nanoparticles are unique in nature, and if you see the one dimensional, so the particle size should be 11 to 100 nanometers. Okay, so next here what will happen here? Self-assembly takes place and form the nanomaterials. Okay, so which type of interactions are present in this one? Non-covalent interactions means here weak van der Waals forces are there, as well as hydrogen bonding also present. Okay, so these are said to be non-covalent interactions. Let's see what are the applications of the organic nanoparticles. Okay. Applications of organic nanoparticles. So what are the applications? Main industrial applications are there. Industrial applications is the first one. Okay, so next second one, medical applications. Means we are using these nanoparticles in medicine field also. Okay, so medical applications like in drugs. Okay, next one, electronic applications. Is nothing but we are using in optoelectronic devices. Optoelectronic devices. Okay, so these are some important applications of organic nanoparticles. Let's see synthetic chemistry. Means we have to prepare the organic materials by using some process. Let's see what are the methods we are using for the constructing of nano materials. Okay. Here synthetic chemistry. So organic nanoparticles synthesized, organic nanoparticles synthesized by two methods. Okay, two forms, that is nothing but one is top down process, second one bottom approach process, bottom up process. Okay, so this is the important question. Every time they will ask this question. Okay, what is top down approach, what is bottom up approach. Okay, so here these are used as the building blocks. Okay, used as building blocks. Okay, so here two processes are there. So let's see what is the top down approach, what is the bottom approach. Okay, first one is top down. Let's see the difference between top down approach. Here we have to write the bottom up. Okay, bottom up. Okay, so what will be happen here? This is the molecule. So next what we have to do now here, so here this is a big molecule, bulk material. This is a bulk material. We have to cleave, successive cleaving. Okay. Again we have to convert into powder form. Again we will get the smaller particles. Okay. Like this, first step, so we have to take a bulk material. Okay, this is a bulk material, and what we have to do, we have to cut this one, we have to cut this bulk material. So here what we have to do, successive cutting, we have to do the successive cutting, so thereby it will give like this. Next we have to follow the successive cutting. So this is again it is formed the powder. Okay, this is the powder form. Again by successive one. So what will be there here? Finally we'll get the nanoparticles. Okay, nanoparticles means we have to take the bulk material, by successive cutting we'll get nanoparticles. That is top down approach. Top means here we are taking a bulk material, and by doing down means here we got the very smaller particles which are nanoparticles. Okay, so let's see what is the bottom approach. Okay, so first bottom approach we have to take the atoms first. Okay, so atoms, next it forms a clusters, then it forms a nanoparticles. Okay, nanoparticles. have to take the nanoparticles. Okay, means this is the bottom up. First we have to take the atoms here. Atoms forms the molecular clusters, and thereby we can prepare the nano materials or nanoparticles. Okay, nano materials, or we can call it as particles. Okay, so like this we have to synthesize this nanoparticle in these two ways. Okay, so first one, what is a top down approach and bottom up approach. So you have to differentiate which one is a, so this one, this is, we have to take the bulk material by successive cutting. We got finally smaller particle which are called as nanoparticles. Okay, so this is the top down approach. And what is the bottom up approach? Means we have to take a smaller particles, means atoms. These atoms are formed into molecular clusters. These molecular clusters forms the nano materials or nanoparticles. Okay, so this is the bottom up approach, means bottom to up we will get the nano materials. Here top to down means here from top to we have to take the bulk material, and down we got the nanoparticles. So this is the top down and this is the material. Okay, so here bulk material is there. So by bulk material we get the nanoparticles. This is a slow method. This is slow method. Okay, this is fast method. Okay, so top down approach is slow, bottom up approach is method. Okay, so first we have to take atoms. Atom forms a molecule. Okay, atom plus atom forms molecule. Okay, molecule plus molecule forms cluster. Okay, and cluster plus cluster forms nano size particles. Okay, so this is about this one. Okay, so here these are play an important role in modern industry in this nanotechnology. So there are advantages are there as well as disadvantages are there. If you take this method is slow and this method is a faster one. So why it is a biggest problem top down approach means here imperfection surface structure of the nanoparticle should be obtained. Okay, so by cutting, successive cutting, so imperfection structure may be obtained. Okay, imperfection structure may be obtained in this top down approach. Okay, so this imperfection we have, so if it will give imperfection nanoparticles, so we have to correct that one. So we have to take a challenges and we have to correct that one. Okay, so that's why, so both approaches leads the bulk production. So nowadays we are using so many in field, so many field we are using this nanoparticles. So that's why we have to produce the in bulk. Okay, bulk production will be there. So bottom up approach, actually this is a commonly referred as nanotechnology. Okay, this is a natural process. This is natural process. Okay, so this is the it will give the then one. Okay, bottom up approach is an old concept but natural process. All the living beings observe this. If you take, so all the living beings are formed in this way, bottom up approach only. Okay, is it or not? Okay, so it has been industrial used for a over country like production salts, nitrites in chemical industry also. Okay, so compared to top down approach, bottom up approach play an important role. Okay, so this is an important one. Okay, so bottom up approach will give the homogeneous composition. Okay, So like this is about the top down approach and bottom up approach. Okay. So let's see the nano manipulation. What is nano manipulation? Okay. So this is important one. Definitely they will give question. Top down approach and bottom up approach. Very simple one. Okay. We have to take the bulk material and by successive cutting it is converted into, means we have to this bulk material into, we have to change this form in powder form. Again if you cut this one, you will get the nanoparticles. Finally we got the nanoparticles. Okay, this is the top down approach. What is bottom up approach? First we have to take the atoms and we have to form the molecules, means atoms will form the molecules. Okay, so next molecules form the molecule clusters. These are clusters. Okay, so molecule cluster plus cluster will give the nanoparticles. Okay, so this is the bottom up approach. Bottom up approach is a fast method when compared to top down approach. This is a slow method and here it will give the natural process. Okay, so that's why they are referred to as, this is a convenient method, better nano structure with less defects. Okay, more homogeneous. It will give the somewhat perfect crystals, but here it will not give this one, so that's why it is not referred as a method. Okay, so but bottom approach is a so it play an important role in the synthesis of nanostructures. Okay, so here it can likely introduce internal stress conversion to surface dispersion. Okay, so this is about this top down approach and bottom up approach. Okay, so let's see the nano manipulation. Nano manipulation. So here what is the manipulation? We have to manipulation of nanoscale objects. Okay, manipulation of nanoscale objects, objects by using nanotechnology. By using nanotechnology is called as nanotechnology. Is called as nano manipulation. Nano manipulation. Okay, nano manipulation. So this can be applied. Nano manipulation can be applied to scientific exploration of scientific exploration of mesoionic phenomena and construction of prototype nano devices. Okay, prototype nano devices. Here nano manipulation and nanotechnology, this is called as commonly a bottom approach. It follows a bottom up approach. Okay, so there are based on SPM. These are based on SPM, means scanning pro microscopy. Scanning pro microscopy. Okay, so this is the some one is there. So okay, so let's build up our bottom approach. When the combination of atoms actually we know that what is the bottom approach. Okay, so thereby we have to prepare the this nano materials. Okay, so here several groups are investigated nano manipulation sheet surface of the pyrolytic graphite. Mostly here three techniques are there. Okay, let's see what are the techniques used in this one nano manipulations. Okay. Here we are using manipulation techniques mostly by using AFM, mostly by using AFM, STM and SEM nano manipulation techniques. Nano manipulation techniques. Okay. Techniques. So let's see what are the nano. AFM means what here? Atomic force microscopy. M. This is M. Atomic force microscopy. Okay, so this is the first one. And STM. Okay, scanning, tunneling microscopy. And third one is SEM, scanning electron microscopy. Okay, so these are three. Okay, ATM, STM, these are type of used to manipulate the fold and tear the graphene carbon layers. These are used for the here graphite carbon layers. These are used as graphite carbon layers. Okay, layers. Okay, so the term nano manipulation is why we are using this type is here specialized nano robot is used. Okay, specialized nano robot and microscope viewing system is present in this one. Okay, means this is a electromechanical device. This is nothing but electromechanical device. Okay, electromechanical device. So for working this small scale, okay, for working with the extremely small scale. So this AFM has been used to manipulate nano-sized objects. Okay, nano-sized object. Nano-sized objects. Okay, so next in AF method choosing particle, so here it is fused with direction and distance. So in this one what we have to do, choosing a particle, first we have to choose a particle and fused. Okay, means we have to fuse in a random direction and distance to reduce function, and particle is to reach the target. Okay, so means we have to prepare this one with a high starting speed in trapping method. Okay, in trapping method. In STM, when metal tip, we are using a metal tip. Here a tip is like this. Okay, this is called as tip. Okay, so we are using metal tip is a dropper. A conducting surface electrons can tunnel. Okay, so here what will be there? So actually here, so if you see this one, okay, so this is called tip. So electrons are come out from this one. Okay, so this is a tunneling conducting surface. Electrons are tunneled from tip to surface vice versa. Okay, so because of this tunnel probability because of this tunnel probability and exponentially dependent from this one. Okay, so this keeping constant current and measuring height of the tip. So in this way, so resolution can be obtained. Okay, so next, current state of present work has been state SEM based manipulation after large contribution of nanotechnology. Okay, so this nano manipulation prevents nano manipulation. So what it will give? It prevent mainly by the reduction of Gibbs free energy. What we have to do here? We have to first, the nano manipulation present mainly by the reduction of Gibbs free energy. We have to reduce the free energy, then we can do the nano manipulation. So this technique is closer to thermodynamic equilibrium state. Closer to which of the technique? This one. Closer to, okay. So this technique is closer to thermodynamic, closer to thermodynamic equilibrium. So I'll write a short form. EQM means what? Equilibrium state. Okay, equilibrium state. Okay. So this is the nano manipulation. Let's see what are the advantages of this nano manipulation. Okay. Advantages of nano manipulation. Okay, advantages. Okay, so by using less, so here what are this mean here? By using nano manipulation, to obtain less detected nanoparticles, nanomaterials. Next, here homogeneous chemical composition will be obtained. Here what are the advantages? All will be equal. Okay, homogeneous chemical composition. So there is only homogeneous chemical composition will be present in this one. Okay, so better short and range ordering nano objects produces long range ordering nano objects produces okay, it will give the nano object produces. Okay, so next one is here growth of single crystal. We can next production of salts. So by using this nano manipulation, we can produce the salts and nitrates in chemical industry. So this is one of the advantage. And here growth of single crystal, we have to produce a single crystal. So growth of single crystal. And last one is, so deposition of films. In electronic industry. Okay, electronic industry. Okay, so these are some advantages of nanomanipulation. So by using this we can obtain the less detected nanomaterials and homogeneous chemical composition will be obtained. Means we can means carry this homogeneous chemical composition. Okay, so next better short one and long range ordering nano objects produces, and production of salts and nitrates in chemical industry, and growth of single crystal, and deposition of films in electronic industry. Okay, so these are some advantages of the nano manipulation. Let's see the next topic. Next topic, liquid crystals. This is also important one. Liquid crystals. Liquid crystals. Okay. So liquid crystals are actually crystal is in solid state. If you see any crystal salt like this, if you take a sugar, otherwise if you take some chemicals, these are obtained as a crystals. Okay, which is in solid state. Okay, but generally, so we can see the crystal is exist in solid state. But here so liquid crystals. So this is exist in liquid form. So what is this? Liquid crystals. Okay, so liquid crystals are matter in a state. So what is the state here? In state which has properties between those liquids and solids. Okay, so between those, so properties between those liquids and solids. Okay, means in between. This is not a liquid, this is not a solid. Okay, this is not a liquid, then this is not a solid. So that's why this is existing state. So these the properties between those liquids and solids. Okay, so here a large number of chemical compounds are known. Chemical compounds are known. Okay, large number of chemical compounds are known to exhibit one or several crystal phases. Means here it exists one or more crystal phases because a large number of chemical compounds are present in this one. Okay, so next here Daniel. So Daniel and Colando. So these two scientists synthesized the liquid crystals. Synthesized liquid crystals. These synthesized liquid crystals. Okay. So here these may be provided its molecules in crystallized way. So actually here a liquid crystal may provided a liquid, its molecule may be presented in a crystallized way. Actually it is a liquid, but molecules presented in crystal state. Crystal. Okay, crystallized way. Okay, so that is this the liquid crystal. Actually this is a liquid, but it has a crystalline properties. And here again one more will be there. George William Gray So he began to investigate what is liquid crystal. Investigate liquid crystal. Okay. So he has found, first they were synthesized. Okay. So Daniel and Colado, they synthesized these materials. Okay. So there are different types of liquid crystals are there. Here George William Gray investigated what is a liquid crystal. Let's see what are the properties of this one. Okay. Here there are different types of liquid crystals. Different types of liquid crystals. Okay. So here liquid crystal phases. So these can be distinguished by their optical property. We can distinguish it by their optical, based on their optical properties we can distinguish this liquid crystals. Okay. Optical properties. When you viewed under microscope, so what will be happened here? Polarized light source different. So what it will be? So optical means what? We have to use the plain polarized light. So this polarized light source, different liquid phases will appear to have different structures. Okay. Different crystals will have different texture. Okay. Different texture. We have different texture. Okay. So in this liquid crystals may not always be in liquid name. Okay. So this is important one. So liquid crystal materials may not always be in a liquid form. Always be in a liquid crystal phase. Okay. So it may not. అంటే లిక్విడ్ క్రిస్టల్ గానే ఉండదు అని అర్థం. ఓకే. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ జస్ట్ లైక్ యాజ్ అ వాటర్. ఇట్ ఈస్ జస్ట్ లైక్ as a water means water is turned into ice, is it or not? So like that here also it is turned into ice. Turned into ice. Okay. This is turned into ice. Okay. So this is about this one. Here liquid crystal just is a liquid crystal phase. Liquid crystals are of 3 types. Now let's see how many types of liquid crystals. Okay. Liquid crystals are of 3 types. Let's see what are those. Thermotropic liquid crystals. Okay. Second one, leotropic liquid crystals. Third one, metallotropic liquid crystals. What are these one? Here these are the 3 types: thermotropic liquid crystals, leotropic liquid crystals and metallotropic liquid crystal. Let's see what are the differences between thermotropic, leotropic and metallotropic one. Okay. So let's see the differences between these 3 types. Here thermotropic. LCs means liquid crystals. Okay. Pleiotropic LCs. Next metallotropic LCs. Okay. So first one is here depending on temperature. This one thermo means what? Temperature. Depends on temperature. Okay. So here pleiotropic depends on concentration. Okay. So first one thermal this depends on the temperature, and what about here? Depends on concentration. Here it depends on temperature, concentration and chemical compounds. Okay, so this is the first one. So next let's see the second one. Okay, let's see the second one. Organic molecules, minerals. Here what we are using? Organic molecules, minerals. We are using this one. Okay. So here many organic molecules and few minerals. We are using few minerals. Okay. Here we are using organic and inorganic molecules. We are using only molecules, not the minerals. Here we are using organic molecules and minerals, but here we are using many organic molecules and only few minerals we are using in this pleiotropic liquid crystals, but in metallotropic we are using only the molecules, not the minerals. Okay, so this is the second one. Next one, third one. This is the hydrophobic molecules. Okay. Next, these are amphiphilic. Means it is having hydrophobic as well as hydrophilic. Then it is called as amphiphilic. Okay. Both, if it is having both hydrophobic and hydrophilic, then it is called as amphiphilic. Okay. So here means amphiphilic, half amphiphilic will be there, not this one. Okay, half amphiphilic molecules. Okay, so next this one. Here it is having hydrophobic, both hydrophobic and hydrophilic molecules. Okay, so this is the third one. Fourth one, here example para azoxy anisole. Anisole is the example for this one. This one soap we are using soap, no? That is the example for this one. Here OMC, organometallic compounds. Okay, so here these are the differences between this one, thermotropic, pleiotropic and metallotropic liquid crystals. What are the differences here? So thermotropic differences, so it depends on temperature. Pleiotropic depends on the concentration, depends on both temperature and concentration, and as well as chemical composition. Okay, so here organic molecules, minerals are used. Here we are using many organic molecules, only few minerals will be used in this pleiotropic liquid crystals. In here we are using only organic and inorganic molecules, not the minerals. We are not using any minerals in the metallotropic liquid crystals. Here this is hydrophobic phobic molecules. Here amphiphilic means half hydrophilic nature will be there. Here it is having both hydrophilic and hydrophobic molecules are there. For example, ajaxanisole is the example for the thermotropic liquid crystal, and the soap is the example for heliotropic liquid crystals, and organometallic compounds are the example for this metallotropic liquid crystals. Okay, so this is about this one. Let's see how the will be there. Thermotropic, this one here time dependent, so that's why we can write it as, here only I will explain you. So we will get at 0 degree temperature, okay, if you use 10 degrees, 5 degrees, 6 degrees, 2 degrees, this is a 0 degrees. So here nematic phase, chiral phase, blue phase and Boulic phase will be there. Nematic phase, chiral phase, blue phase, Boulic phase will be there. Okay. So in this particular concentration region, material exists in liquid crystal phase. Okay. So lower and higher concentration region is not applicable for this one. So it has to maintain the constant concentration. Okay. So here solvent provides crystal fluidity of crystal. Okay. So this is a thermotropic exhibited by many organic compounds and minerals. Okay. So this is the mostly spherical shapes. Means here micelles. Micelles are actually, yesterday I have explained what is a micelles are. So okay, solid by axial will be there. Okay. So this is about the liquid crystal. Let's see what are the applications of the liquid crystals. Okay. Let's see the applications. Liquid crystals applications. Okay. So here while using and here liquid crystal tunable filters. Liquid crystal tunable filters are used as a electro-optical devices on hyperspectral imaging. Okay, these liquid crystal tunable filters are used as electro-optical devices in hyperspectral imaging. We are using in this. These are are used as electro-optical devices that are used in a higher spectral imaging. Used as here this used as liquid crystal thermometer. Liquid crystal thermometer and used as electronically generated, used to detect electrically generated hotspots, for failure analysis failure analysis, okay, analysis in the semiconductor industry, in the semiconductor industry. Used as liquid lasers, used as liquid lasers, okay, used as liquid lasers, and polymers dispersed LCs. I am writing this LCs sheet, okay. So this blocked smart film which can be provided as a privacy soap water, okay. Next, so these are used as a switches, used for part switches. So these are some applications. Liquid, while using liquid crystal tunable filters. Here these tunable filters are used as a electro-optical devices in for which purpose? Hyperspectral imaging, used as a liquid crystal thermometer, okay, liquid crystal thermometer. And what about here? These are used to detect electrically generated hotspots for the failure analysis in the semiconductor industry, okay, and used as a liquid lasers. We can use it. So this sheet will be polymers dispersed liquid crystal sheet, and so this rolls aggressive black smart film which can be used as a windows to provide used as a windows to provide privacy soapy water in liquid crystals. So it is using as a could be used for the part of switches, okay. So these are the applications of liquid crystals. We have so already discussed about what are the differences between the types of liquid crystals and what is the crystal, what are the properties of the liquid crystals, and what are the differences between liquid crystals and what are the applications, okay. So in next class I will discuss in other topics. Thank you.